Hello guys, you all are welcome in Master Stroke Anthropology classroom program. And in today's session, I am going to give you a brief exposure on anthropology. So I hope that first of all I would like to talk about what is actually anthropology. This is a lecture for everyone, those who are the freshers and want to understand anthropology in a nutshell or in a brief. So let us understand in what order you are going to prepare anthropology yourself. What are the correct systematic pattern of reading anthropology? As you all know, anthropology is the holistic study of human being or the mankind. In this regard, we take the help of various other disciplines like the biology, like the archaeology, like the help of society, and even the language. And therefore, because we are taking the help of all these three, anthropology subject further subdivided by many scholars into four branches. One is the biological anthropology, other is the archaeological, third one is the sociocultural, and fourth one is the linguistic anthropology. Now the question is, under all these branches, what we studying about? I already told you, we are taking simply the help of all these three in order to understand human being in a holistic perspective, and that's why we are taking the help of archaeological work. Archaeological work is something that are concerned with geological work. We are going to take the reference of biology in order to understand the human being. We are going to take the help of different society across that is existing across the globe in order to understand the different culture, and at the same time we are trying to explore the language of peoples, those who are living in the remote area or in the tribal area or in the deep forest, in order to understand their culture, because we are taking the help all this. And that's why the four branches in that we are studying anthropology. So anthropology is the study of mankind, and being a man, we are highly curious animal also, and that's why we want to discover our past, our journey on this planet, and therefore we need to explore various evidences, artifacts of the past, and analyzing this finding through dating in order to reconstruct the human history and present human history in a very systematic manner. We understand our journey on this planet Earth in a sequential manner, and we studied about human being in two frames. One is the biological or the cultural, or in other word you can say we want to study about human being achievement in terms of biological gaining or the cultural gaining. If so, in one hand, we are going to talk about the biological journey of the human being on this earth, And at the broadest level, in other hand, we are going to study about the cultural journey of the human being and the cultural achievement of the human being. So biological journey of human being begins with the evolution and emergence of primate. Remember, biological journey of human being, not the life form. Biological journey of human being begins with emergence of primate. So in that, we read about distinguishing characteristic of the primate. We are trying to classify the primate. We are going to read about various form of primate and their adaptability and acclimatization in different environmental conditions. Remember, when you are trying to study the anthropology and want to explore anthropology and understand the essence of anthropology, you need to go in that way, whatever I right now, the way I am guiding you. And that's why the heading of today's class is a brief digest of anthropology. Once you understand, you will easily understand what actually anthropology deals about. So what I already told you, anthropology or the human biological journey begins with the primates. So once you start studying about the primate, at that time you need to study about primate, different types of primate, characteristic or distinguishing characteristic of the primates, different life, okay, forms of the primates, and then their adaptation, their acclimatization in different environmental conditions. In this journey, some may get extincted, and now their predecessors survives. So guys, after primate, okay, their नेक्स्ट जनरेशन मतलब प्राइमेट के बाद का जो जनरेशन था उसमें क्या है, प्राइमेट से क्या इवॉल्व आउट हुआ, फ्रॉम प्राइमेट एंथ्रोपोइड emerges out. Anthropoid means human like creature starts emerges out from the primates in the Miocene, in the Miocene period. Remember, in the Miocene period, and that passes through monkey, then apes, and then hominids. Hominids means near to the humans, like humans. So as the hominids, after monkey, apes, and the hominids, so as the hominids diverges from hominoids, hominoids means ape-like. So as the hominid diverges from the hominoids, so due to evolution, remember, due to evolution of bipedalism, erect posture, due to evolution of bipedalism, erect posture, and other traits like the increase in cranial capacity. So the day when the human hand become free, definitely they are ready to do something. A free hand of people now starts doing something. In that something they created. In that action they created, they manipulated their surroundings. As a result of manipulation of surroundings, culture evolved. And whatever efforts they put in manipulating the surroundings, their biological developments takes place. So what we have today are the physical effort of our ancestors, and what cultural elements exist in our today's surrounding that are also the efforts of the manipulation of all these primates in the ancient time or the hominids in the Miocene. So the journey actually begins from there, and now it is continued, and it will be continued in the coming future. So you need to understand all these things in that way. So once the bipedalism evolved, once the erect posture evolved, So that leads to the development of cranium, because one experiment, one discovery, one invention give them impetus for the next. Okay, provide them platform for the next level of discovery, next level of invention, and in that way, they totally reconstruct the entire physical world, like our today's house. Few days, few year, few centuries ago, that kind of houses are not available. That kind of dress are not available now. Okay, so think about when humans in the pre-glacial phase and before lithic age, what were their conditions, and now what is our conditions, in what way we are totally different from them. So as a result of all these changes that takes place in the hominids, means the gradual increment in their cranium, changes in their biological framework, okay, acquisition of the bipedalism and the erect posture, all these changes result the first definite hominids. First, remember, first definite hominids, the name is the Australopithecus. That emerges out. Australopithecus emerges out. So once again, I would like to say, being a part of Master Stroke IS Academy, we are providing you a classes properly, and before starting the next, this is my personal experience. Myself, Mukesh Singh, and if you want to join us, then join in both mode, offline, online. It's totally depend upon you in what mode you want to join us. In offline, we are providing classes in the Mukherjee Nagar. We are going to provide in the Karol Bagh. Depend totally upon how many students they are calling me personally, and our academy in terms of anthropology classes, in terms of science and technology classes. It totally depend upon you, because now in your hand hardly 3 months. In that 3 months, if you are ready for yourself, it's okay. If you are not ready for yourself, take the help of this lecture and go through the classes or join our crash courses. So that crash courses begins from the tomorrow 15th of October, and we are also covering those aspirants who will get information about us in late. So whatever your topic that remain left, and if you want to a specific guideline, guidance in a particular area, like the physical or paper 1 or paper 2 or archaeological or even socio-cultural, even I will provide you class in that way. So it's totally depend upon you to join us, and for joining, everyone must call us. So now once again I'm coming on the topic. So it was uh, Australopithecus who put the first brick of culture. The first brick of culture was kept by Australopithecus. And this saga is continued through the Homo erectus because of their free hand and greater cranium or intelligence. So that permit them starts tool making, and tool making actually begins in the lower Paleolithic period, and lower Paleolithic period ends as okay, and so what actually happens with the ends of the lower Paleolithic, the modern human emerges out. Remember, with the ends of the lower Paleolithic, modern human emerges out from existing Homo erectus, and through Homo sapiens lines, this Homo erectus passes later, and in the and with the Homo erectus, they enters in the sorry, with the Homo sapiens, they enters in the middle Paleolithic, while in the upper Paleolithic or the last ice age, modern human or earliest human starts spreading from Africa into different part of Asia, and even they touch the New World. So, in better say, with the advent of Mesolithic period, they start doing some pre-agriculture work like the domestication of animals, plants, and they consider these animals are their mobile food. They of course provide them some sorts of defense, but at the same time they help in or they help them in adverse situation when they face crisis for their foods or on the day or the period of the month or the years whenever they face. So in that day they use that animals as a food and the fodders. So the Mesolithic period is and the Neolithic period so that arrive. A Neolithic period that was characterized because of their unique achievement and regarded as a Neolithic revolution or considered as a Neolithic revolution because this that was the period of complete transformations. And in the middle of the Neolithic, better say, or in the end of the Neolithic, the Chalcolithic begins that ends in the Iron Age, and this was the time in that several cities, states rises, and that leads to establishment of civilizations in various parts of the world, and finally the concept of the modern state that evolve out. So these are the things that happens. One more thing I would like to once again, I always suggest everyone just wait few just see it here. What uh, is my strategy for aspirants? See, this is my strategy for every aspirants, and I share with the students several times. If you are if you are aspirants of civil services, you need to first prepare your optional subject. Along with optional, prepare your essay. Along with essay, prepare your GS paper. Along with GS paper, also you should prepare your interview. And all the preparation, at least optional AC and GS paper 4, you should complete before your prelims. But what happens every time students did mistake, and this is not simple mistake. This is simply just suicidal mistake. What they did, and because of that they are in this time now started their optional classes or their C classes. So guys, remember everyone, those who are the fresher, always join class before your prelims and always complete your optional AC and GS paper 4 before your prelims if you want to secure your rank in first 10 or first 20. This year toppers belong to anthropology. In last few years, if you go through the syllabus, sorry, if you go to the result, you will find that there are many toppers belongs to anthropology, those who secured their rank in top 100 So in my opinion, they all are topper. So what you need to do, you need to do at least few things. And what are those few things that first of all I am going to uh, share you. First thing is just watch this slide, and this is my message for every students. Uh, and one more thing that I'm going to talk about, and uh, and what are these? So let us see first of all regarding the optional subject, regarding your GS, and regarding your how to write main question. So for writing in the main examination need extensive practice, and for that you should start now practicing, otherwise you will face ultimately problem in the actual time. And that's why this is my personal suggestion for every aspirants must do practice as much as possible before going to appear in the exam hall. And only this strategy will pay you, this strategy will definitely work. So the next thing is, always remember, everyone in UPSC examination, a fresher strategy are definitely something that are different from those who is preparing for the optional subject or UPSC examination few years back. And as you all know, if you go through the result, few of the students, hardly very few of the students, those who miss their final selection because of 1 or 2 mark differences, or because of 5 mark differences, or hardly because of 10 mark differences, just go and ask them about their conditions. So 1 and 10 marks are determinantal for you. So never underestimate any single question. In UPSC, in GS, almost more than 100 questions asked in all the 4 papers. Similarly, in your optional subject, more than 15 questions you need to write, or 16, 17 questions you need to write along with your short notes in a single optionals. Missing 1 marks in each questions become panic for you in lifetime. So always be aware about our writing, be aware about what you are actually putting. So these are the things every students must know, must follow, otherwise of course they get the main ticket, but may they lose and may they not get the interview ticket. If you are ready, so ready for those kind of mistakes. Otherwise, take everything seriously and continue your preparation with full energy. Develop a tendency and courage that enables you to give your 100%. And so let's start once again what I said. So with the establishment of cities in one side, in other side, what happens? So the first division of mankind, with the establishment of city and civilization, the first division of the mankind by human itself done by, okay, on the basis of difference in the color and body compositions. and that evolved in the form of concept of a race and the racism. So this is the first time human itself deny to accept the existence of the other human being as a human. They consider other human being as subhuman. This tendency first time evolved in the brain of the human being, and now later the situation become more grave and grave and grave. So from that point, a debate and attitude to defining the culture on the basis of the set assumptions started, and that further led to the birth of ethnocentrism, means claiming about a cultural superiority over other culture. Of course, that was minimized by the cultural relativism. Exactly in the similar way, in order to explain it and replace it by a clear and better vision, several scholars it starts giving their assumptions, hypotheses, and theory by using their imaginative power initially. And as a result of that, one theory came into existence, and that was evolutionism. So evolutionism was the first theory, even by E.B. Tyler, Julian Stewart's, and there are so many schools of anthropology, those who belongs to this. But whatever the concept whatever view they given through this theory, that was totally based on imaginations, because their entire evolutionary schemes about the cultures are based on the imagination without any material evidences or skeletal evidences. And that's why few among them in their time not accepted their theory, because the next generation are the not the armchair, they are basically the field worker. They start collecting the evidences through excavations, artifacts, and several evidences. And after they start analyzing their findings, and then they gave their theory. One of them are the neo-evolutionism. So the opinion given by neo-evolutionism are totally different from the evolutionism, because one are totally imaginative, other are totally practical. And as a result of, in the middle of it, there are so many theories came into existence. Few among them still maintain their importance, and that's why we are studying about them, like the historical particularism, structuralism, functionalism. So in the search of lost ark, they came into contact, remember, of peoples with varied languages, ethnic groups, and therefore ethnic group, and therefore they get familiar with several languages. Because if they want to explore what they thought about them, what are the reason behind differences in their society. They must know about their language. So unless and until understanding their languages, peoples distributed or diverged across the world, that cannot be possible. And that's why they understand the importance of languages. And this language later occupy the status as a branch of anthropology that are called the linguistic anthropology. This kind of efforts continuously performed by anthropologists in their life, and the same thing continued also in India. So those who scholars who did work in India, they are considered as the Indian anthropologists. Those who consider and did their invention and discovery in the other part of the world, they are the anthropologist from the America, from the Germany. Only thing that changes is they together came and start sharing their vision and the thought regarding the anthropology, and that leads to the proper establishment of anthropology in India. Anthropology as a discipline started in India by not a mere effort of any single scholars, rather as efforts of several peoples. Even the anthropologists from the other part of the world, they also contributed. So in the process of studying the language of other peoples, these scholars enable themselves in better understanding about the peoples lives in the remote area, the peoples whose culture are totally varying from them, and at the same time it also help in understanding them the reason behind the social inequality, the factor involved in racism and ethnicity, and the inequality or inequality involved in this racism and ethnicity. At the same time, they also want to know about what are the factors involved with social stratifications, and they start considering all these factors. Some of these factors are gender differences, physic and physiology of human beings. At the cultural front, the relative contribution of the male and female in the subsistence, their sexuality, political leaderships, and rights over their properties. And therefore, to attain a stable social configuration or peace, they start exchanging their ideas and the women also. And as a result of that, many social institutions came into existence. These are the society, marriage, family, kinship, religion, political group. Some of these institutions, of course, attain universality. Some are still struggling. Some are on the verge of lost their existence hours because of complete transformation. So when you are going to study anthropology in the framework of culture, how the thing will evolve, okay, so biological evolution takes place parallelly with the cultural evolutions. So anthropology, in nutshell, one can say it is the physical growth and development of the human beings, along with the cultural growth and development of the human beings, because both lie side by side. See, human, those who physically evolve, at the same time, it's human, those who manipulate their surroundings, and as a result, these two go hand in a hand. So, guys, this is our very first lecture. The saga will continue. I will take the another classes on the same topic in paper 2, in the rest of the other parts. And for regular classes, definitely you should join us. Otherwise, it's your decision. Thank you. Bye bye.